That's when you get frustrated. That's when you get disappointed. So hopefully they can adjust here and get themselves ready for map 2.
One thing to mention, though, is that the only map the Reason have won so far has been Cobble. They've won 2 maps, both times Cobble, so yet to see them perform anywhere else. This is definitely a map where I feel like the UK definitely feel at home. Mirage is one that you expect to see almost every single time, and so Method, they'll probably feel just as home going into this map. Now, Reason are going to be starting over on that T side, and at least early doors, they're going to be heading towards that B side.
And look at this stack, though. Method already have 3 players here. Weber's going to fall off to the back pillars, but you do have 2 others. Pulse playing over by bench. Going to get a little bit of contact. This is lovely stuff from Method so far. Beautiful shutdown between Weber, Jenko, and eventually Pulse. They get it all done, but very well read then. Good positioning. 3 players to that site that early. Clearly a bit of a read.
Yeah, really nice start, and well, now the T is just going to be investing back into a few pistols, looking to try and break straight back. The CT side, actually going to go fairly heavily on rifles as well. Stanley, okay, we're waiting. What's he going to buy? There we go, UMP. So a couple of UMPs alongside the rifles. Only going to be pistols. Karma looking for the dig early on, and Neil's like, no, I don't think I'm going to be taking this fight anymore. Allowing middle to go to the hands of this T side, but of course, the great thing about having the longer range weapons, you can sort of just fall back a little bit, play the more passive positions, hold the angles with the rifles, and force the T side to come to you. However, they're getting very close up towards short, but Stanley's just going to peek it. Finds 1, 2, and with support from Jenko as well. It's a shutdown round, every player surviving, and that is perfect for making that economy.
Yeah, that's what you want. Keep it nice, keep it clean, build the money up, get back in the game. Not exactly a team who gets, super pumped up. You look at Excel, I guess you look at a little bit of Epsilon. Some of the teams, they do get pretty vocal. They do get into the game, but it looks like Method, again,
Infused as well. Never forget Infused, although it's not really the team. One man in particular,
true. But it's maybe,
he's been mentioned enough, so
we're all right. But no, it's more the fact that, maybe they've done this a million times. Let's bear in mind, these guys aren't new to stages. Some of the players are, bear in mind, but the vast majority, not so much so. Weber eventually goes down, but good damage done. Another little follow-up from Stanley. And hopefully they don't lose much more than this. You're kind of hoping that you pick up that rifle or get it away or do something. They're trying to go for a cheeky bomb plant, basically. Slowly worked out towards A, but no. Pulse will not be moved. He's played it smart then and hung around. Even though that B hit, it looked quite likely, but Weber got a lot of information and they just held standard spots.
Yeah, especially when you have a massive advantage like that, rotating every player off, it almost definitely a mistake. And straight in with double orbs. Method not holding any bars in this sort of situation. They're not holding back. They're going to go straight for the fight. There's no AWP on the T side, of course. They haven't saved that extra cash. It's going to be AKs and utility. And this is definitely going to have the surprise factor. And Stanley, he's going to be going aggressive. 2 completely different AWPers to what we saw on Cobble as well.
Well, this is what was being said, wasn't it, on the desk? They really don't have those defined AWPers. Definitely seeing it. The thing is, if you're really good with it, it's great. But it's so rare that you can use it to its full extent. The theory potential of it. You can play it purely spawn-based, purely, how a player's feeling, they're having a good game. It's so rare you actually get that full benefit of it. Let's see what Stanley can do, though. Not much gap in that smoke for him to play with. So the molly to the back of the boxes. Smoke towards middle just to keep him away from underpass, and falls back towards short. And reason, the thing we've seen with their T side, at least when it comes to Mirage and such and so on, it's very patient. They love holding the top of mid, so that CT side aggression doesn't really fly with them.
A minute left on the clock with the rotation now coming back towards the A site, and CT side, at least for now, are very well set up for this push to come in. They've still got a decent amount of utility, a couple of Molotovs even to try and slow down any pushes. And the double AWP still in play. This is yet to be revealed, so Reason are going to be pushing into what could be a nasty surprise. Pulse actually going to get done by the timing there. Has no idea that somebody's already pushed out, but Jenko's position is perfect, but he still gets caught out. Thomas with the entry kill. Only 25 seconds left on the clock. Neil's going to find one of Pulse with another, but it's still going to be back to a 3 versus 2. The problem now for the T side is the time and the position of the bomb, and that smoke is just going to be holding them out of this site. They need to get these kills so quickly. Great position from Neil, and it's not going to be a strong start this time for Reason Gaming. In fact, this Method to go 4-0 up.
Perfect from Method as well. Not getting impatient, not walking into them, not going up mid trying to find that information. Even with the AWPing then, I think it was, who was it? Stanley at the start. Quite patient, quite calm on it. Didn't overextend. Did get caught, but it's Pulse who really found his form there. And actually, Pulse has had a very good game on that first map, so we see a bit more of him. Same you said for Janko, of course, doing quite nicely early game too. Weber, good start. Everyone actually from Method is starting to get into their faces. We see a little bit of a hero rifle from Karmapanya, but that's about it. Everything else Tech 9s, and that's it. Yeah, nothing to really write home about.
Yeah, the problem is, because he doesn't get any loss bonus from the previous round, it does mean that going into the next, unless they get a bomb plant, he's probably going to be left with a Tech 9, so not ideal. Weber looking for a little bit of aggression here. Actually just going to pop flash out, try and get some information, but Karma's a lot further forward than he expected. That's already 2 openings, in fact. Cinder's managed to get another. And now they've got a couple of rifles to play with. Cinder still doing work with his Tech 9. Finally, Genko will put him down. But this round with only 1 rifle and a few pistols is working wonders at the moment. Pulse and Genko, do they really want to be handing these weapons over to the T side? That's the real question.
They need a quick kill, or just something very decisive to start them off here, but Reason not really giving him much to play with, and even though Genko is doing work, this is lovely stuff, beautiful work from him. It might all be for nothing. Hoodlum just needs to buy time. And Pulse is not liking this. He has no kit either. Takes the wide fight, Hoodlum. But does he have the time? Gets the kit off the body of the Fallen, and he goes back to it. And he should have just enough time here. Pulse gonna get the defuse, but that was down to the wire, and you can pretty much thank Genko for that one. Damn it, Yanko.
I don't know how he manages to just separate each individual frag, and then Hoodlum at the end doesn't have himself any armor to play with, so the aim punch comes into factor. Yeah. Of course, that was more of a save round, so at least a lot of damage done, but from that final perspective of a 4v2, you have to wonder if Reason really should have taken that round. Either way, it does mean with the bomb plant, they can get every single player on a rifle at least after the problems of the previous. And this time they're going for an early challenge into middle, but Genko, feeling the confidence of the previous round, maybe looking for a little bit more.
Well, I wouldn't blame him going for that sort of thing. But again, we know that Reason like this slow play, but this time Reason have sped it up. But it's Thomas to catch off Niels, and that's a bit of a surprise here. Niels seemed a bit of a solid, the rock almost in the team, but Cray desperate for an opportunity through Connector. Already the play coming out through Palace gets quelled by Genko. As he looks for more, maybe expecting this kind of challenge out from Connector. Flashes in, not good enough. Cray fully blind. Still hits the shot. Frustration, I can imagine, for Genko. He did everything right, just the timing wasn't there.
And with a minute left on the clock, the man advantage will now sit with the T side. It's left the CTs with a split, holding towards window just to make sure that nobody can cross in that angle. And it does give quick rotations for Stanley at least. Leaving Pulse alone with that AWP. He has been doing very well on the A site so far, but it's not going to matter because the B site hit is where it's coming in, and the CT side have gambled correctly. However, the cross is going to make things quite a bit more difficult, and Karma, once again, is going to entry onto this site. Stanley looking like he may just try and back away from this fight. Of course, losing almost every single player in the previous round comes down to just one, so the money's not going to be in the best position. And there is a wall there as well, so he has to be a little bit careful of that. There's a chase coming in. Thomas, he really wants these frags. He wants to take the weapons away. In fact, loses his own. Now you have to wonder for the T's at least. Okay, 3 players alive. You're about to get your first round on the board. Let's keep enough money so that if you do lose the next, you're not just being straight reset out of the game.
Yeah, I don't mind them sending one to try and get the guns off. They can get that AWP away. Could maybe keep Stanley away from the M4 as well. That'd be pretty nice. But not to be, as obviously the last 3. Reason going to keep hold of the rifles. Cray, Karmapanya, and Hoodlum all staying alive here. And that B-side's working for them, even though it's, Weber's the one holding it, and he's been pretty decent at it. They're just finding ways to get it done. They're definitely cracking into the site, and that mid-control working out quite well.
Yeah, I think Thomas getting those opening picks has been helping them quite a bit. However, straight back in with the double AWP setup, so still willing to invest back into this. Switching it again, so Weber going to be holding it this time. Probably because of the way that the B site has been going recently, they're going to switch it up completely, have an AWP in hand. However, it's an aggressive mid-take at the moment coming out. Nice start from Pulse. Stanley does actually shoot off a round, so they probably have a decent idea that he's here. Karma has managed to trade one back, but it still turns it into a 4v4 situation. And I think on opening, the T's are going to be willing to take that.
So it looks like they're going to fall back towards A, which I don't mind. They only have 1 smoke. It's on Hoodlum. So where's Hoodlum going to put this down? CT, stairs, jungle. Plenty of opportunity. Well, they could just walk out on this, bear in mind, but they're going to know there's AWPs up, so you have to try and cut off one of these two. You could straight face CT, you could nade it. There comes the smoke, it is the CT one. Hard to handle, lovely timing as well. Cinder working out, perfect synergy then. Good read on the situation, denying that peek over the smoke that was so desperately wanted. Niels, you're going to fall for the same thing. You're going to hop up there, but no. Molly just actually going out. Bit of a shame then. Now this opens up a chance, but well aware Hoodlum keeps tabs on the smoke that he placed. As Stanley tries to play back in from the back, he will claim one. It's kind of hanging down, but where's Weber? A mile away and not really fancying this.
Oh, can someone make a book of Where's Weber? I think that'd be amazing, just hiding him in little pictures.
Yeah.
I'd buy it. Just saying, the marketing team of Method, if you want to make a Where's Weber book, I would purchase it.
We'll invest. We're here to save the UKC. Slowly but surely.
I do really like that sort of smoke play, though, coming out from Cinder. Just the timing, the second it goes down. You know that the AWPer's going to want to try and stop at least one player and then fall away.
Yep.
So it's just instant peek. Opens up the site completely. They were gambling quite heavily on that AWPer being able to do quite a lot. That was in the form of Pulse, who, fair enough, a couple of rounds ago he did just that. Instead, they invested into double AWPs again, didn't they? So their money's going to be right on the brink. Don't think they're going to have enough to really invest into this one. That leaves the T side with a good chance to get themselves right back into this after the early lead taken.
Not quite as drastic as, I guess, Reason on Cobble, the turnaround that Method had. But this could be nice. This could be a good build back here. 5-2, of course, currently. And why not go for a bit of aggression? You're on a lesser buy. Try and get a gun away. Try and do something proactive rather than being waiting to see what the other team will do. There is a man watching this, though. That's going to be Cinder. Mostly towards ramp, but he's going to be listening out for Palace in case anyone would dare try and push down. But at the end of the day, you can see this patient approach from Reason. It's very slow, it's very meticulous, and they do this more often than not. Now, if they do head back round towards A, the only threat is Pulse. Of course, Janko is there, but kind of gets hard to utilize him. He can catch people out. He's holding a bit of an awkward angle. Cinder could be caught off guard here if unawares, but timing is everything.
They still have the AWP posted up in middle as well. They have gone heavier over towards the B side of the map, but that was the alarm bell. Pulse goes down. Now they start to rotate players over already towards this A site, looking to try and keep these players close. They'll gamble the others on B just to try and hold on to the weapons once the fight is lost. And, well, that should be the only chance that's really given to Weber here. They know exactly where that AWP sits. They have actually rotated in the rifle, which is interesting. We'll see what Stanley can actually do. The answer is absolutely nothing. And although Weber takes one for fun, he now has to just scurry away with that AWP. Can he get away with it? That's the question. Thomas has been hungry for these kills. Still going to take him down to just 15 HP. Weber desperately trying to cling on to life. Flashbang out and through the bench. We'll lose both guns in the end. 4 players surviving for the T side as well. There should be somewhat of an investment coming out from the CT side, as they did save on pretty much every single player.
Yeah. Pause comes in. This might be the time for Reason to really take control of this game. But I'd imagine this is a timeout from Method more than anything. I don't know. We'll see how this one goes down. Again, for Method, they had a good streak for a while. They had a good run. They were starting to feel out the game. It looked like the AWPs were going well. That B hold was decent, but Reason just climbing back in the controlling driving seat here.
Well, it is worth mentioning as well that even in the rounds that they did win, it was still, what, 1 AK and 4 Tech 9s that managed to bring it down to a 4v2 that had to be a clutch coming out. So they've been winning the rounds, but they haven't been clean. And when they finally got broken in the end, they did get at least a little bit of extra damage done with the weapons that they had, but it still looked like Thomas is just rocking it at the moment. Just been finding picks all over the place, cleaning up weapons towards the end of the rounds. Had support from Cinder as well, and we've already seen that if Reason can get rolling, that they've strung a whole lot of rounds together over on Cobble, right at the beginning and right at the end. And that's not something the Method want to allow them to do.
No, and you can see that chat that time, mostly with Niels taking lead of the conversation then rather than Weber. A little bit back and forth, maybe having just a bit of a chat, but Thomas, again, so much patience on this team. It's so hard to play against. You can't go aggressive really towards middle, so you're always kind of not guessing, but it's hard to play into. It makes you want to push those extremities where you can see players, as I said, like Cinder, waiting for the chance at it. Not going to be gifted this time, and on the other side I think it's Kamapanya just kind of occasionally taking a little bit of a look towards those B-apps in case anyone's trying to push up. And Thomas looking towards middle. No one really actively pushing here. Be Stanley if anyone to take that first port of contact.
Heavier presence over towards A site this time. As you said, without information, they have been taking quite a few gambles. Thus far, at least, they haven't been paying off. Flash is going to give a little bit more presence over towards this connector spot, but quickly smoked out. Does mean that the T's themselves don't actually have much information to gather. But at the same time, it means they can take control of different portions of the map without much of a response. Down to the 40-second mark, as they do look to be heading over towards that B side of the map. A little bit of a fake being thrown out. Cinder going to find the entry, and that's going to pull a player away. That's a big problem. It leaves only one. Eventually, we do see the rotation back from Stanley, and he does manage to get himself that opening pick. Shutting things down at the moment. It's down to a 2 versus 3. Weber still just hiding in the back, and the bomb planted right in the open. Simple for him. Leaves it on to just Thomas in a 1 versus 3 with 15 seconds to go. He's going to have to do something incredible here to turn things around, and Weber, sat at the back, will be the one to finish off both remaining players. 6-3, and Method are back on the board. You
got to feel if that little bit of that fake towards A, not even worked out better, but wasn't found out so quickly. There could have been so much more to that. You saw that, but, you know, the two players on B, one side of peel away a little bit, and you're like, oh god, if it's just down to Weber, maybe that could have gone wrong. But no, Weber plays that really calm as well. Doesn't show his hand too early. That's the patience I expect from a player of, you know, someone of his experience. And Pulse this time over by Tribox. A faster play towards middle here from Reason. Bit of a switch up of pace. Neil's forced out of window.
Thomas looking to try find a little bit more control. Again, they've been handed mid in a lot of these rounds, but if it is more the CTs allowing them to have it, I don't really see too much of a problem with it. Especially when they have all of the angles covered. Pulse looks away at the wrong time and actually misses the shot because of it. They now know where the AWP is. That's a little bit of information to be gathered. Neil looking to try and find Thomas, who's just stuck in the corner at the moment, and well, wiped down at the moment already. 2 players dropped, make it 4 as it's doubled in a second. And Karma, he has the bomb. He's got 5 players to find and a minute to do it.
Come on, hang it. Trying to find an avenue to keep this round competitive, but highly unlikely. 5 players going to be looking away. Pulse is the angle as well as soon as you step out. And why not send Jenko in there anyway, and he's going to get the job done for you. So yeah, Reason, as you said, they may be able to get mid control, but actually getting into the sites just seems a step beyond them at the moment. They've just been unable to convert it from that point forward. So again, maybe they need to look for an answer. Maybe fall back to, you know, more of those site hits coming in. Maybe, you know, actually work for it, because they seem to just get caught up in connector. They haven't had that, you know, well-timed hit towards a site yet. It all seems to kind of get a little out of place on the timing.
I think the big difference we have to take into consideration as well is that Jenko's actually having a really good game.
True.
Which he was not even slightly on Cobblestone. He wasn't there. But already see him get a 4K, which wins them around that they probably shouldn't have won. Goes down to a 1v1 for his teammate. And they're chipping in with a couple of kills. Quick push from Thomas, though. He's still very good at getting these entries. However, Weber has been a rock on this B site. Eventually goes down, leaves an opening. Once again, these pistols still a decent avenue. Craze in such a good position as well, and just snaps onto the head of Jenko, leaving it down to Pulse and Neil. Once again, these pistols have gained an advantageous position for Reason Gaming. Can they do it again? This time Jenko's not there to help them. Pulse with the AWP leading the charge. He's the man with HP. They're not going to copy Bogdan and opt to throw over that AWP. Instead, just going to go pushing in, missed shot, and quick stuff from Hoodlum and Cray. Pistol steal around. And once again, you have to sort of call into question a few things there for Method.
What would you be questioning, Mr. Tom? What's the top of that list?
Just more like how the fact that they can just run straight onto short. That's a little bit worrying for me, like, especially when they were initially holding more aggressive angles. Cray's just been sneaky in the back lines, and then I think once it comes down to this 2 versus 3, okay, it worked previously, fine. But you do have to wonder whether it's worth just handing those rifles over towards your opponent. It gets to a point where, okay, maybe we should just make sure our buys are good. That's what you've been winning. holding off the sites, playing more passively. Why then give them more of an avenue to play with in the next round?
I like them going back to more of an A hit though. I actually prefer this. Reason haven't had that much success through middle. They've had the occasional round obviously with the pistols and you know they're quick in their pace. But the actual gun rounds, they've been a little stumped on it. They're going in pretty dry on this though, not much utility put to play yet, but Cinder is coming up with the goods. Jenko and Niels both suffering, and look at that hit coming through. Thomas there as well. Another headliner thus far for Reason. And even Craig going to try and make it hurt towards B, just there trying to find one. Weber's already low, bleeding. And there it is, Craig strikes and it's Stanley. And I prefer that, a nice switch up comes in. Unlikely play here from Stanley to get much more done, probably if more than anything caught in the heels, but nice little bait out play, but he gets found in the end. Nice switch up there from Reason.
Yeah, I feel like Thomas, after being away for a couple of weeks, is looking to try and get himself up on that entry kill stat, because he's been finding kill after kill after kill while running into these sites. That's another round where he gets the opening. He's got support from Cinder as well to get a second. Yep. And at the moment, that's been the one thing that they haven't been able to counter. Everything else, we've sort of seen, okay, we'll give them mid. They can have mid. But Thomas just running into sites. Okay, he's 7 and 10. But I think at least 3 or 4 of those have been the very first kill of the round and on a bomb site as well.
He's definitely bringing some very, very valuable kills. The ones he does get, you know, it's not fluff. He's been doing well at that. But again, towards middle with the bomb. You got to find a way around those pistols. You know their money's going to be pretty trashed. So how do you approach it? Try and buddy up. Try and be careful. Don't mind it. Got to be careful of Weber though, holding that deeper angle. He's going to get away with at least 2 shots there. Let's connect 1, 2. No more to be found though. Tagging up both Hoodlum and Karmapanya, but the B side's open. It's pretty much theirs. Pulse is close by, but you kind of pray for those one-taps to come through, even with USPS. Soften the blow for the P250 and the Deagle, but it looks unlikely as the bomb will be planted and Cinder unleashes, and Stanley, no flank to be found.
I think this is where you sort of have the one problem of almost abandoning mid every round, is that in normal scenarios, taking the bomb mid, very risky. In this game, I'm pretty sure Reason have had mid for free almost every single round. So in this round, they go, you know what? If you're going to give us mid, we'll take it. And then wherever we get the picks, we'll actually just switch things up and take the bomb in that direction. So wonderful stuff.
Again, this is a good turnaround from Reason. They're at least kind of finding avenues back. It doesn't feel like they've hit that brick wall and not been able to recover at all. It feels like they've gone, okay, well, you know, our mid takes, they've been a little bit hit and miss. We haven't found you know, a full way to take it over and then work into a site for a win. So they've gone, okay, well, what can we fall back to? A bit of a site here, trying to make it, you know, a little bit harder. And look at Pulse. This is Method's reply. A little bit of ramp aggression. Not just him here, but Janko too. This could be a nice touch.
Yeah, Pulse up close. Has another smoke. That should tell them he's right there. Thomas, almost see a little bit of a reaction going to go spraying through. They have to be a bit careful here. Also the position of Cinder. He's been so good at getting these picks out from Palace as well. Flashbang goes out. Pulse just looking to try and fall back. And we'll be able to do just that. Minute 10 still left on the clock. A whole lot of utility remains for this T side as well. Molotov going to go out onto default. This will force Pulse back, and they're just sectioning off portions of the map. Jenko will be able to get away with 1. He has been a rock on this site, gets a second as well, but eventually Hoodlum is there to trade. And it's all going to come down to the rotations. There's a quick flank coming in from Stanley. That's probably going to be the most valuable player at the moment. But the remaining 2, they sit in CT. They've got to try and find a way back in. And look at Cinder. He's read it. The unfortunate thing is they've actually gone through Palace.
Neil's being flashed in here. Not finding anyone instantly. Hoodlum in a bit of a, not necessarily one and done, but it's hard to string together kills. Nowhere to back from. Smash these shots out, finds an angle. Oh, Weber's caught off guard, but he does get the better of him. It's down to 2v2, but time is ticking. Both players now on the CT side on the site. Not much of a shot at this one. Cinder's going to find one, and Cray is there. It's a great recovery from Reason, finding their avenue back into this game. We haven't seen that switch up yet come out from the other side of Method. We haven't seen them go, okay, well, how do we then, you know, adjust this? How do we get the information early? They tried that double play towards ramp. Well, I guess one player did pretty well from it, but there was not, you know, not much longevity to it. But I did like the molly hit that came out from Reason then. There was, what, a molly to stairs, dark, and I guess default as well. So it's quite, instead of the smokes almost, they just went with that.
Yeah, and it has been a decent comeback from them as well. They even the scoreline up at 7-7. It's going to be SMGs, an MP9 thrown in. Love a bit of MP9 as well. We'll see if anything can get done with it. Genko actually starts things off with the UMP. But it's going to slow down from here. The bomb's still left in spawn. A little bit of presence over towards mid Palace and in Apps itself. But that man advantage, let's see how the CT side actually play off of it. In most cases, you wouldn't want to see too much more aggression, but with the buy they have, you have to wonder whether it could be the better case.
We should see Hoodlum swinging through underpass and maybe just pinch towards A, considering they have Cinder so close up, but with the bomb already kind of lingering towards that A side as well. But it's quite hard to deal with that when you're in Palace. And Nils already spotted Hoodlum towards underpass. And Stanley, of course, will be able to see this from short too. So if they start trying to play out towards connector, he gets uncomfortable. They're going to take the fight on that. Cray should be winning that, but no. 5-7, clearly pretty strong at this point. Molly goes in, Flash comes out, now limited information to be found. But look what Pulse is up to. An attentive, close play towards ramp. Only 38 seconds. If he even has small success here, gets one down, buys a bit of time, it's game on.
Yeah, so low on time. Here comes the MP9, but he gets neither. Does some damage at least. Genko's still with a chance to do more. Sprays the first. The second comes in as well from Genko. He's got massive in this round, and it leaves Cray alone. 28 HP. A round stolen by Method using the SMGs. And while, if you look at the man right at the top of the board, you can see, well, you can see the impact he's had just there. 18 kills for Genko, completely opposite to what we saw on the previous map.
Yeah, night and day performance from him. Finding impact, you know, doing a lot of, not necessarily the easy kills as well. He's had a couple rounds where he's been able to farm up a bit of free cash, but even the A hit where he still got 2 from playing in dark when there was a really well-constructive hit came in. You know, the guy gets good kills at this point. He's putting up numbers for his side, which are keeping them very much relevant to this game. You imagine you remove him from this, you know, where do they stand? Do they have a little bit of a similar repeat to the start of Cobble? Does it spiral away, or can you not put that much weight on one player? Again, hopefully there'd be someone else who could maybe step into that position, but if I'm honest, I haven't been that overly thrilled yet with that kind of versatile, you know, everyone can AWP sort of thing we saw there either.
Yeah.
No one thoroughly excelled in my eyes, no one, you know, really stepped up or, you know, put it to a really good place. People getting excited by some CS. Who'd have thought it? I thought it was Neil behind me, but it's not. 7-8. Reason within touching distance now, but Method do keep that lead. They came into this map and looked pretty solid so far, so let's see if they can actually turn up on this T side. Genko there straight away. Big performance from him in the first half. Second half now looms, and you're going to see quickly Thomas regretting this choice. If he can make it away from this somehow alive, I'll be thoroughly impressed, but he's got it all. He's seen everything. And how is he still alive? How has no one killed him? Finally, Stanley takes him down, but this is one of those pistol rounds you just don't want to remember.
Yeah, so much control already taken by the T side, and Cray with Hoodlum going to be in the back lines. Plant not going to be anywhere near them. Cinder will be at least be able to get one, and he's got to be a pinnacle player from this position. He's got to be careful though, because Weber just watching in case he tries to do anything from behind. Tries to drop down as silently as possible, and actually does manage it. Cray's going to get one, but Cinder, here's the drop, finds another, down to the 3 versus 2. Could this be a throwaway pistol? It's looking like it as the defuse comes in, and shaking the head, Lauren. What do you think of that?
Don't rat me out. They can't see me. All right, it's just an exciting retake, Tom. We never look at the negatives, only the positives, okay? Very exciting retake, beautifully pulled off.
Positive pansy.
That's...
Is that the first time that's ever been said?
Yeah. Absolutely. 8-8. We've got P90s, and I know you love a good P90. It throws you back to those Katowice days and some of your fondest memories of CS. So why don't you
it can be. There's one
look.
person I allowed to buy a P90, and that is Get Right. Anybody else, I don't agree.
Well, you're
and that's on Dust 2 as well.
Cinder's going to prove you wrong. He's going to just show you what this gun can do.
Well, against unarmored players.
Absolutely. Look at this. He's a god tier play. He's got 2,600 kills on that. Did you just see the stat track when he pulls it out again? It's not like he doesn't use it.
My P90 has more kills in it than that.
Really?
Yeah, really. When I started, you know, bought one P90 and I kept it all the way through. I think I got like 3,600 kills on it.
That's upset me a little bit,
Pro
hasn't it?
P90.
You sit there flaming it, but you go home and you're like, oh, I'm going to watch that demo back. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, no, it's...
You love a bit of it.
It's a horrible weapon, but it really tilts your opponents.
Oh, yeah, because the UK CS scene needs more of that. More rage-inducing moments. Just get critical back. He loves a bit of it all. Cinder, though, going to get it to, I was going to say Sing. Not quite going to live up to that. And
He doesn't get anyone with it. I thought he got one.
But no. The thing is that I don't mind the fact that people go to other SMGs because the UMP did get slightly nerfed, but why the P90?
Yeah, it's more expensive, not better, and gives you less money back. Like
Weber's happy.
There's no value from it at all. But
yeah.
It doesn't matter because the rest of his teammates bought the UMPs. It may have been nerfed, but it is still making that money. But you look at their buy going into this round, it does seem, yeah, a little bit unreasonable. They have thrown one out already. Aggressive push coming out. They're going to try and take these battles. The flash is good, but there's 3 players waiting, looking to try and trade things, but it's not happening at all. Complete shutdown. 3 players at the top of mid. They've taken a lot of damage, but Hoodlum and Karma, if they manage to turn this round, well,
the thing is, right, you wish that Reason for a second could have seen what they had utility-wise. If they knew they had, what, a couple of flashes and 1 smoke, you play them on longevity. Look at this little dirty off angle, though. This is all they can do. Flash into corners. Hoodlum lines them up, but can't knock them all down. If there was one more there, it all would look very, very possible, but no. Karma on just that UMP and gets outdone. Pol shows him what he can do. And Method, even with minimal amounts, make it count somehow.
Yeah, I think they got a little bit lucky with the strategy that was thrown in there by Reason. 3 players pushing up the top of mid. They win the duels. They had 3 players waiting themselves. Hoodlum almost turns it.
Almost.
Very, very close. Unfortunately, they didn't actually make a whole lot of money in the sort of rounds. That's what happens when you buy a P90. Because you don't actually make much money back, especially if you don't get any kills with it. So they're going to have to go for pistols in this one. Method more than likely to take the lead in this situation once again. Although they definitely have made some mistakes versus pistols so far.
They should play it out smart. There's no reason to rush anything. Method just group up, play it safely. Just going to take themselves through towards mid. No one's really watching. I guess you've got Thomas playing through connector and that's about it. No one playing window. No one's actively holding it. No one going to try and make anything stick. Take this over. They could be doing, I was going to see if they could do, I think they just did the smoke towards deep side connector. So this looks like it's going to be a B hit just purely off of the back of that. But unless Pulse gets good success, it actually spots out Cray. So maybe going to having an idea of what's waiting on the other side. Maybe a stack, maybe a little bit of an info play. Pulse now put on notice. He's not looking too confident. But look at Stanley as well, just walks right on in. Did he spot one? I think he did. He might just be spraying in for this, but I'm pretty sure he saw Cray there. But does he expect the follow-up man? Hoodlum gets a second to get the job done, but it's all just sell a bit of a fake here. Is look at the B presence. 3 players there. Bomb's about to go down. And Hoodlum and Karma Panya nowhere nearby.
Yeah, Hoodlum has managed to retrieve himself an AK, but that doesn't last very long as Pulse is still lurking around the back lines of A. And Karma now, if he can somehow get that back, that'll be a nice little bonus for them at least in terms of their money. But other than that, doesn't really look like there's too much they can really do in this round. A Method are going to make themselves a little bit of extra cash. Okay, maybe not. Might be losing a little bit. If he can get one more, that would be wonderful, but not going to happen. Eventually, Pulse finishes him off. 3 players surviving. A Method take themselves the lead.
They're back in it for now. They've got a chance. It's just the longevity more than anything. Yeah, there's no disputing that they can certainly do stuff. It was just, yeah, Reason's T side looked pretty nice. Quite like the approach from it. See if they can make it stick on the CT side, of course. But looks like Stanley wants to get things going. Very, very quick play, and that didn't work out so well. Good trade from Stanley in the end. He could have gone for the CT smoke from that, but no, smoke's close. Limits information, but also kind of hinders what he can do. But flashes through it. This guy's going wild right now. Pushes in towards Dark. Takes a moment to catch his breath, but he does have Pulse with him as well up. Playing out from Palace. And the rest of Method responding accordingly. Now, the bomb's been picked up. Let's keep our eyes on where that goes, because I like this coming out from Karma Panya, pushing up through the B apartments to a slightly more aggressive position. Not going to allow them that free entry, that free path. It'll set the rest of Reason up to be able to play into this, but oh, Stanley unleashes himself towards A. He's been a solo one-man army here. Thomas the only one to fight back, finding Pulse, but he's trying to just clear a route, allow the rest of his team through, but finally he falls. Cinder's there. 1 minute left, and this is a very, very strange round. He did great things on his own, but it felt like the team was almost ready for it. They didn't believe in it. And now it falls apart slightly.
Yeah, they are going to go rotating all the way back around. And Weber should be on the scene, really, before there's anyone from the CT side. They are holding very passive towards the CT spot. Actually, the push is going to come in. Karma's managed to get across to the site just in time. Has to be wary of short, and especially when he only has that UMP in hand.
Would
It's not
Weber
going to be
check
ideal.
this?
Weber, he should have an idea that there could potentially still be someone on the site, but Karma is just going to be holding. And look at the time. It's going to come down to that 15-second marker. If Neil goes for an open plant, this could be absolutely perfect. Peeks out, Karma drops the bomb, and now Weber has 10 seconds to try and turn things around. Molotov dropped onto the bomb. He will retrieve it, goes for the spray, but Karma, with the hero play, gets himself 2 kills. The Molotov in at the end was a nice touch. And yeah, just not checking the sights. They expected everybody to be on the other side of the map.
To be fair, the timing from Karma to push that position by bench and then just take a gamble, it was one of those lucky plays almost, but a lucky calculated play. You know, if this happens, I'm in the right place, but I have no idea that if it is going to happen. You know, it's one of those where it's very hard to define, but he played it well, put himself in the right place for success. Now this is going to put a little bit of a problem towards Method. Money's not so robust anymore. You've got a couple of Tech 9s. You know, Niels, it doesn't even have any utility, no smokes to play, but it looks like it pretty much defaults you like A. Maybe Weber going to do a slightly closer smoke. I'm curious if it's going to go all the way to CT. If it may be the one towards the middle of the site instead. But here we go. Neil's going to unleash. Spamming away, hoping for a connection, but so far, not so good. Jenko, though, going to fight back, finds Hoodlum, and they do get the bomb down towards the site. So bomb plant comes in. They've retained good utility. Weapons are still up. And if Stanley can find one here, doing something a little bit ambitious, that would have been brilliant. But no, backs away from this now.
Smoke's thrown in. CT side don't have anything in terms of incendiary, so can't clear people out of angles. T's actually still have a Molotov of their own. Peek out from Jenko. Finds himself another one. Leaves it into a 3 versus 4. They're going to go aggressive, however. They've got to be careful in this situation, as now that's a couple of kills back for the CT side. Getting low. Again, Stanley goes big. It's all onto the 1v1. Karma's picked himself up the kit. Tapping the bomb and baits him in. But does he have enough time? No, he does not. So Method are going to take themselves the round. Karma goes down. Damn, that was close.
That was very close. What, 2 seconds away, 1 second? Something around that marker. You've got to feel for him in a way, but good time bought again. Good damage done. It's a close game back and forward here. It's hard to call it. No one's really come into their own. No one's taking strides in the right direction. It's back and forth, and you know what that does though to a CT side economy. It's going to be incredibly draining. I say a bit of investment, a decent investment from Hoodlum coming in. 5-7 full armor. Cinder just no head armor. Thomas as well going in on this. They're buying up pretty heavily. So again, we've got to hope that they can do something with it.
We've already seen 1 Zeus kill today. Karma going to be attempting another. Currently playing over towards the B side, so I'm interested to see how that will work. He's going to try and hold around the angles, possibly just wait over towards the van. However, in these sort of rounds, Method should have a decent idea that the economy is not going to be good for a reason. Patience from Pulse. Gets himself 1, but actually quickly traded out. Luckily, there's not really anything to be picked up. And the rest of his team looked like they were about to go all in onto that B site, but quickly changed their mind. Look at the rotation. Hoodlum. All the way in those back lines as well. Going to be able to give so much over towards his team, although Stanley is waiting. Not going to be expecting it, and simple kill. And this could even force a rotation back. It would be quite a nice idea, in fact, after catching the player pushing so aggressively. However, T-side looked dedicated to B.
I guess they don't... They've got a good idea, but you almost don't want to do that old Karma Panger. Please. Please do this. Make me happy.
How? How on earth does he get away with that? Crane, not with much hope in this situation, but that still has to be so annoying, just running around. Drop the gun at least. All smiles on Method.
He just looks so desperate to get the Zeus kill, so he's sort of like hopping around like, please, someone come close enough, please. Finally finds one. Jesus, this is it's one of those games where it's just such a slog,
Still
isn't
don't
it?
have enough.
And Niels, it's weird, isn't it? It's either, Jenko has a sick game and Niels just falls off completely, or, vice versa. It's
Maybe they just switch names. It's always one player who's actually playing very well.
Do you know what? Maybe that's it. You've just unraveled the mystery.
Mind blown. Cinder actually still gets one. This is bare minimum investment, even less than we saw in the previous round. So any damage will be nice. Of course, allowing Method to get towards that 13. Cinder this time doesn't have any armor, so instant one taps needed, and well, that's the reason why. Stanley big advantage with that aim punch, and they're just going to go running now towards this B site. Is there going to be any sort of cross taken? Doesn't look like Thomas can see anything. Dig comes in, unfortunately. Hoodlum only with a pistol of lower caliber. Won't get himself an instant shot. And Karma, he still has the Zeus. 2 rounds back to back? Surely not. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's more reasonable.
Jump through. Jump through. Go on. Not quite. Like the little T-Rex arms, just not quite making it there. But overall, this is a good recovery. Now, it may not be the most pretty CS. Obviously, that was a double eco, essentially. So you kind of expect it to go this way. And now the timeout comes in. I can imagine Reason going to be looking towards that buy pretty much now. They need it, right? They desperately need this round on the board. So hopefully they come up with a bit of a theory coming into this round as to how to deal with this, how to approach it, how they want to go about this. Because thus far, it feels very hit and miss. It feels very on and off. And we haven't seen them really string much together. And Method, starting to loosen up, it feels like. It looks like they're enjoying it, just kind of chilling out a bit, so yeah. I don't know, this is one of those games. You can see it on some of the players' faces. Thomas, they're having a chat though, so. Something about start and rotate, solid. Good information.
The most in-depth strategy ever created, of course. You do notice the difference though, like normally the very solemn faces of Method, but when like getting Zeused and then laughing about it, I think they must be feeling pretty confident going forward in this one. They had themselves the lead. I think they've looked much stronger on this map, at least.
Look, when you just lose Cobble like you did, you just lost all hope. So you're just laughing, you know? It's
pain laughing, is that what it is?
Yeah, you kind of just have to deal with it.
Oh God, yeah, I'm pain laughing now.
You know, if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
What was P90 again? Is that a different player now? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's coming back into fashion. Actually, there's 3 players without head armor, so although that would still be the case for any SMG, we'll see if Weber can now show us why people are buying the P90 again, because we're yet to really be proven wrong, I would say.
Moving accuracy is decent, rate of fire is decent. I guess if you're jumping out here and just spraying in, okay.
Almost.
Yeah, no trade though, that's another problem. Jenko's there, and there we go. Finally, Jenko does what they needed. Maybe a kill or 2 earlier, but still, job done to a degree. 2v3, no real safe plant here at this point, but there's no projectiles left in the utility, so nades to worry about, or mollies. Now, how do Method hold this? Always going to have one avenue of approach they can't fully watch. Neil's going to just play by the door. Watch for the push through from Kitchen, but Thomas is there. Lovely work from him, and Niels just has to swing on this. He has to go big. And he does get 2, but the third's just out of reach. Hoodlum plays it well, and well enough to get Reason back in this.
That would have been one hell of a way to step up in this match, but not going to be the case. Bomb goes down, so extra money will be made, and after winning 3 rounds in a row, they should still have enough to get an investment in. CT side, of course, only a couple behind, but yeah, it's going to be the Bank of Stanley that actually bails out Method in this situation. So it does mean that although they've got a little bit of cash, and a bomb plant would still give them enough to have something in the next round.
Yeah.
This is Reason's chance. This is the point where they need to get back into the game. They lose this one, it's done, and Thomas, that's the start we're looking for. He's picked up the AWP. He's stolen it away. And, well, he's trying to play that star role.
Well, most of the time we saw Karma Panga running it, but this looks like maybe it's a Mirage thing, maybe a Spawn thing, maybe he's just feeling like he can actually make some work happen. Yeah, exactly. So it was dropped to him, bearing in mind. So we'll see. Smoke towards mid window, going to keep Thomas at bay. He's going to have to adjust now off the back of that. Background towards CT, but maybe an incorrect gamble here. We're having 2 players at A. And this is a nice approach. I like this. A little bit of a boost towards the window. It's a nice counter piece. Weber actually playing that off really well. He just keeps that in mind. Maybe, I don't know, but come on, Pang is showing what he can do with the rifle there. Not bad at all, but Cinder gets overwhelmed, swept aside, and a 3v3 off plant's about to kick in. Nothing to stop the bomb plant. Can they hold off the retake here? Method would get to 14, of course, if this goes their way.
Yeah, and the money would be absolutely stuffed for Reason Gaming, so this is a massive round if Method can take it. 1 incendiary on Cray. He also has a flashbang. The rest of the team don't have any utility, and they are out. They're not even going for it. Just going to hold on to their weaponry, try and come back into the next round. Maybe look to reset Method once again. At the same time, it now hits to 14, and this is too close for comfort.
Yeah, this gets a little awkward to deal with, isn't it?
Actually drop another player as well, so not even money being made in this sort of situation for Method, so definitely still possible. 3 rebuys necessary, but at the same time, in the next round, if this is lost by the CTs, they'll have no money going in what will be the last round of the map.
Yeah. All right. 14-11. Thomas back on the AWP. Does he have a better spawn than before? Janko as well, a decent A spawn. No, so just maybe Thomas
Someone just drop
likes
an XM. That's a new one. Like, buying it for yourself is one thing. Dropping
Here you go,
an XM,
Carbanger.
that's another.
Enjoy, mate. Now he's like, have a go on that Cinder. I'm all right without it. I've gone from AWP to shotgun. A lovely little demotion, but it's almost there. Having a little bit of a via towards mid, but no one's really going to be there on the timing of the shot, so he's going to just round towards connector. Have a little look there too. So far, Method playing out like it looks like an A hit of sorts just because Stanley's there. Look where the bomb is. Certainly could play into this. Cinder going to be holding close. Now this becomes awkward. He has to back off from this. Allows Niels straight through towards ladder and work his way up. And this is a very uncomfortable position for those 2 players towards A. Let's see how they handle this.
Cray sat on the site. Hoodlum's already going to be gone. It's down to Cray. Awful lot to do. Tries to just fall back. Molotov clearing out his position, and Stanley in from behind. Now Thomas, AWP, what can he do in this situation? Answer is nothing. Karma, 1 versus 4. And look at the flank already coming in. Neil does not want to let him hold on to this rifle. Stanley's in position as well, making a lot of noise. The fact is, he's not going to expect Neil, and that will be all weaponry gone from Reason Gaming. Method now with 4 map points, and also the money is going to be stuffed.
Yeah, the thing for me there is the control they got was perfect for that A pinch. The 2 players already kind of locked towards the side. They still had ramp pressure coming in, they had connector pressure, and then Neil's up in ladder room. Once they actually made that hit count, there was nowhere they could go, nowhere safe for them to fall back to. You're gambling, you can back towards CT. So it's very, very tricky. Nice little smoke towards, is that a mid-window one from Pulse there, that old running number? Is that Bialy or Snatch? I think it's Bialy, if I'm not mistaken, who did it originally.
Yeah. I think it's Bialy smoke.
Yep. Always nice to see. Gives you a nice quick play towards middle. You can work off the back of it, banging through connector maybe, just have a little face towards short. Again, you know their money's screwed, so why not go for something a little bit quicker? Try and play off this together, but no. The smoke towards the deep side of connector might make this look like more of a B than it is an A.
Stanley, he's been leading the charge alongside Jenko, and will be leading to try and finish this off, but there's actually a lot of players waiting, and Hoodlum, he's already found himself 2. Make it a 3rd coming in from Karma. Somehow this force buy is working at the moment, but Stanley looks to try and change that fact. Bomb, however, is dropped. They don't have a lot of control of anywhere on the map at the moment. Rotation going to be coming in from Neil. He was trying to sneak in from behind previously. Just going to go and clear around towards B.
He's got to go all the way around. Like literally through spawn, back through. Oh, you haven't got time to even walk most of this. You just got to hope that Niels doesn't die as well. Kampangi's going to fall back. That's a free pickup, but that also gives away the information. They now need to go. You've got 35 seconds and 2 players to find. Cinder and Cray are all that stand between Method and the victory they desperately need here. Molly goes in, not quite deep enough to slow down Stanley. He's going to be lingering through 20 seconds now. Don't check Doc. That could have been a threat, but no, Niels is there. And down to 20 seconds. Molly goes in to stick on the bomb. Great work from Cinder. 15 now. He's holding so close, he could back away from this. He doesn't need to hold at this spot, but he gets the job done, finds the angle. And Reason somehow is still breathing here.
It always seems to be those sketchy force buys that pay off towards the end of the game. It happened in the previous, and it's happened here. The difference is whether Method can do the exact same that was done to them in the previous map, where they just get absolutely ruined by this next buy, even though this one's a little bit better from Reason. Got a Mag 7, rifles on almost every single player. But it's still going to be those AKs coming up, and a lot of what came down was Hoodlum having a massive round with the Deagle, and that's definitely not something you can rely on every single round.
No, absolutely not. Weber being forced to go a little close towards B than maybe he liked. Molly behind him, but still perfectly fine. Just can't back out of this yet. 3 players through middle. Working for the T side right now. Stanley's still there, and he's been having a big game. Stanley's not a name that you often say with Method. He kind of sits below some of the heavy hitters, but he's had a very big performance this map. So credit to him. Now he needs to do it again. You want to close this now. Don't let Reason get that chance to come back in. Molly towards short allows the play up connector. Cheeky little face towards it too. Not the perfect smoke though, bear in mind. Still a little bit of a gap there. Don't want to be able to see through it right now. So they do build towards B.
Yeah, already though, Cinder is going to be the one to start things off. Jenko very quick to trade, and that's actually going to force them to go into this site. Thomas already getting himself another one. Again, it's just going to be traded out onto Karma, as we're just hoping that Thomas can survive on this site. He actually gets himself another, but it's still going to go back to this 2v2. Poles and Neil Zenio to try and hold off in this situation. Long rotation out from Cray. They do have a kit at the moment over on this CT side. Other player will be remaining in market, and there's very little in terms of utility. In fact, Pulse with one flashbang to try and slow down anything that the CTs had to offer. Hoodlum going to be throwing out, but actually wins the duel, and now it's all onto Pulse. 1 versus 2. Bomb beginning to tick quickly. No utility left other than one singular smoke. Peeks out, wins the duel. Now all onto Cray to try and save this for Reason. Otherwise, it is just going to be this 1-1, and peek out. Doesn't manage to do it, just going to go straight for the defuse. Tries to throw the smoke, but Pulse will finish. Very, very close in the end. But it is going to be method. 1-1. I think everybody was wrong. But in the end, doesn't even matter.